And welcome back to the WHHI Daily News. Scott Cooke has joined us once again. He is a communications director with the South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs. Scott, great to have you on the program to talk today about scams again, but in particular, barcode and then QR code scams. So let's jump right into scammers that are using barcodes to get money from folks.
Yeah, so what they're doing, they'll reach out to somebody. Maybe it's, pretending to be a utility, pretending to be law enforcement or a judge, any of that type of stuff that we've seen from time to time. But in this case, they're telling people they need to take a barcode and they'll take it to a retail store. They'll tell them to go to a specific, drugstore or, in the shopping centers or something like that. And they'll tell them to give them that barcode and load a certain amount of money onto that account. So it may either go to, a gift card, or it may be going to a bank account. In some cases, they even go to cryptocurrency accounts. It kind of depends on what that code may go to and what store they're sending them to. But they're using those, QR, or not the QR code, but the barcode in this case to get people to load money onto accounts that the scammer has control over.
So Scott, how do they get the barcode? Are they emailing folks these barcodes? Is it coming through email or text?
A lot of times it's text message now. So they're getting somebody on the phone and they're giving them the pitch for the scam. So then they'll say, hey, the way that you've got to pay me is through this barcode. And then they'll text it over to the person and give them very specific instructions. I know the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office has kind of told us that in some cases they're walking people through specific situations. So they're texting them the entire time they're in line at that retail store, and they're telling them, what to say if the clerk asks specific questions.
Gosh.
So, they may tell them, I need this specific dollar amount on this, type of account. So they're kind of walking them through that process too, as well, while they're in line at the store.
So, Scott, when you say they, where are they?
They could be anywhere in the world, unfortunately. A lot of times, especially things like this, that person may be in the other, part of the world altogether. So it's, by the time investigators kind of figure out where all that money's going, it's all the way across the world at that point in a lot of cases. So we're really encouraging folks, if you're getting those types of barcodes, kind of cut off that communication right away. Maybe talk to law enforcement, give your local police department or sheriff's department a call, let them know what's going on, and kind of let them see what those messages are and those instructions have been from that scammer.
Okay, so let's talk about the QR code scam. So sometimes victims are receiving a package with no return address. Instead, a QR code is included. And then what?
Yeah, so what they're hoping is you'll be curious. You'll say, hey, I didn't order this package. What do I need to do to return it? So you scan that QR code. Depending on what that code's going to, they're either sending you to a malicious site that may then, be downloading software onto your phone or, whatever that device is. Sometimes they're mimicking other accounts. So they may pretend to be somebody like Amazon or Target or something like that. And they're hoping once you scan that code, maybe you'll enter some of that login information or something like that they can, then use for further purchases themselves. So it's really kind of setting you up with your own curiosity, or maybe even your own goodwill of trying to return a package that you didn't order. You think, hey, I didn't order this. Want to make sure it gets to where it needs to go. So you scan that QR code and then kind of open yourself up to, another line of scams.
All right. So what would you say, Scott, would be a good rule of thumb for all of these scams that are coming our way? It seems like quite often.
Yeah, the biggest thing is always kind of know who you're talking to. You can take those steps to verify that the person is maybe who they pretend to be. So if they're pretending to be a company and it's somebody you use, go to that app, look it up, look up all that information yourself. You don't want to rely on those text messages, things like that. And don't be rushed. If somebody's texting you, pretending to be somebody else and making demands of something that's a little unusual, kind of think about it for a minute, maybe take a step back. A lot of times if they're demanding you take particular actions in 24 hours or less, that's kind of one of those big red flags. So always kind of take a step back and think about things and don't react kind of right away, especially when they're giving you those fear tactics of, you have to pay us right now or else.
Okay, good advice. Thank you so much, Scott Cooke with the South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs, and we'll be right back after this.